In 3, 2, 1. I'm Gordon McGee, and this is the No Pillz podcast, Love Fully Scripted. Welcome back, beloved. And today, friends, the same pill, blue pill, red pill, feminism, purple pills, black pills, modern dating advice in a general sense is all the same. And we're going to get into it today. You're going to find out today, friends, why we call this podcast the No Pillz podcast. Looking up material to cover, to go over, and it just stood out in my mind that I really didn't see this unification or this place of commonality between all these different ideologies and theories. So when I'm speaking about red pill theory, I'm speaking about this waking up to a set of beliefs about the nature or the truth about the nature of male-female dynamics within relationships and dating. This idea springs out of what we call the manosphere, what has been termed, which is seen as a collection of online communities focused on masculinity, men's rights, men's health, men's self-improvement, and definitely anti-feminism. Some of the key tenets: feminism has ruined everything, in particular romance and romantic relationships. Women are inherently hypergamous. Also, men are victims of a gynocentric society, a place where everything is focused, centered on the female, as you may have heard if you've been online at all. Men are to strive to be alphas, males, and not beta males or simps. And the list may go on with some other tenets that I am failing to remember or mention at this present time. The blue pill is seen as the opposite of this position. Okay, it is in direct contrast. It is seen as the ignorant, those who want to just believe that everything is going to be all right, that relationships are just fine. You can continue on as the good Lord chooses in all bliss, and are unable or unwilling to deal with the realities of modern dating and marriage as understood from the red pill perspective. Some of the key tenets that I think would be pinned or assigned to the blue pill is, outside of idealism, I suppose, is gender equality. Egalitarian relationships would be another point, another tenet. Also, the belief or perspective that there is a such thing as toxic masculinity, or maybe from an extreme perspective, believing that all masculinity is toxic. And then lastly, that feminism maybe is not necessarily a problem, but is accepted and tries to be integrated, or there is some integration. That kind of takes us to the next pill, which is now termed the purple pill online, which is somewhere a balance between the red and the blue. Okay, so now there's the purple pill, which tries to marry these two ideologies and these two thoughts processes and these frameworks together to come to a more holistic, more balanced approach. Okay, which I guess is nice to know that someone's out there trying to think and have a balanced mind. So I can't knock that too much, I suppose. But stick with me, because we're going to soon unpack the commonalities. Then there's fourth wave feminism, emerging around 2012. It is primarily characterized by its profound reliance on the internet and social media for activism, enabling global mobilization, friends, and awareness, as you might remember campaigns like the #MeToo movement. Its core tenets include a deep, and I mean deep, commitment to intersectionality. This is huge in fourth wave feminism, and a strong focus on contemporary issues such as, sexual harassment and violence, and the grape culture and body shaming and persistent gender inequalities that they believe exist. Unlike previous waves, friends, this is a digital wave. A lot going on with feminism, but there are critics within feminism that push back against intersectional feminism, believe it or not, saying that it's just a theory, or at best it is a conspiracy theory. Also, that it is immune to criticism, because if you criticize it, then you become a bigot, you are a hater, you are a part of the problem, you are a part of the patriarchy trying to bring down and oppress women. So you can't even constructively look at it and turn it over and question it. Another accusation thrown at intersectional feminism is that it promotes misandry with a focus on straight white males in particular, which thus is seen as bullying. And then also there's this victim mentality. Who is the most oppressed is what comes out of said movement. There's a wrong focus, divides rather than unites. So as you can see, there is quite a divide when it comes to these different ideologies and also how they impact our modern day relationships. So how are they all the same? How is the blue pill similar to the red pill, the purple pill, black pill we'll speak more about here just in a moment. How is it all the same? How is it likened to modern feminism, and how is it also like modern dating advice you're going to find online? Brother Gordon, what are you talking about? You ever heard that saying, a right wing, left wing, same bird? Well, I would like to tell you, blue pill, red pill, purple pill, black pill, same dealer, friends. Why am I saying that? Because it encourages the gender war. All of them. All the pills thus mentioned, which is why we do no pills over here, continue to encourage gender wars, the cause of strife and debate and beef. There's a strong, within all these different frameworks, there is a strong contempt, and I mean strong contempt against marriage and monogamy. Now, while there may be some, conservatives or some conservative thoughts or maybe tenets or leanings in the red pill space or maybe somewhere in the blue pill space, ultimately, they are usually agreed upon being against marriage. And monogamy is not a thing that has to really be at the forefront or crucial to success in a marriage. I'm not saying every last single person, but these core tenets, these overarching principles, the things that are spoken about and promoted, they all agree on these points. They encourage gender wars, agreed. Strong contempt against marriage, agreed. And monogamy, agreed. And then essentially, no matter what pill you're taking, you support, for the most part, you support fornication. There's a clear support of fornication and for fornication. And let me say this. If it's not being spoken against, then you're in favor of, friends. If you're not going to call out fornication and say, hey, man, no sex outside of marriage, you're on board with the practice by not standing against the practice. So no matter where you are online, I guarantee you one of these three, if not all three of these points in particular, are embraced, encouraged, or not spoken against in these different frameworks and ideologies. There's a focus on male and female sexual prowess. Get rich and sleep with as many women as possible. Isn't this true? Blue pill, be a lot more liberal, open relationships, be open-minded, sleep with whomever you want, whenever you want. That goes on in the lifestyles and minds of some people that would be considered or classified as blue pill. Feminism says, hey, sexual freedom. We need a sexual revolution. We want sexual freedom to be promiscuous as women and to still be respected as we sleep around and not be shamed for it at the same time. Why are you saying this, Brother Gordon? The slut walk. They in feminism, they do things like put on slut walks. Let us sleep around. Let us, we don't like this double standard of men being praised for having multiple sexual partners. We want to be praised the same way. What? Unreal. Unreal. I never thought I would see the day when Satan has convinced women to be immodest, to not value their virginity, and to give it away to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's out there in the world, and then want to be praised and applauded for it. And men in the world have come behind and have elevated the woman of the night above the modest Proverbs 31 woman. This is the facts. This is the reality. We all sit and stare and gawk and lust, and it's terrible. Immodesty is exalted in our culture. It is promoted. It's seen on every screen. You can barely escape it. Friends, blue pill, red pill, purple pill, black pill even, as we'll see here, modern dating advice, feminism are all just fornication by another name. Think about what I'm saying to you. If you're familiar with any of these frameworks, I want you to really think, yes, they all agree on having sex outside of marriage. They all agree that we don't need marriage. This is the agreement. So while it appears that they're promoting different values and different things, they kind of all land on the same runway. They all end up in the same outcome. Let me tell you something, friends. When sexual intercourse is the end all be all for you, it is the end goal. That your desired outcome is that you will possess the ability to sleep with the opposite sex with whomever, whenever you like and you want, and you fail to arrive, it will lead you to the black pill. Hear what I'm saying to you? When you set this heathenistic goal before you to be a man whore or a woman whore, to be this alpha male, so to say, this James Bond of men, and this woman of the night, this lust over me, give me attention. And when that begins to collapse on you and you cannot achieve that goal, you will be pushed into the black pill. Now, the black pill in the context of dating refers to a nihilistic and a deterministic ideology, primarily associated with the incel or the involuntary celibate community. Now, here's a breakdown of the core concepts, or at least some of the core concepts. One being biological determinism and lookism. Now, that is when men believe that my genetics make it so that I will never be looked at. There's nothing I can do. Like, my genetics has determined my relationships. It has determined my love life. Now, this is assigned to men that others call incels, okay? They have little to no hope of finding a romantic or sexual partner, and they blame that on the reality of their genetic makeup. Second tenet is the rejection of self-improvement. As you might imagine, well, if my genetics make it so that I cannot be any taller, then it doesn't make any sense for me to self-improve. Unlike some other perspectives within the manosphere, like the red pill, the black pill often dismisses self-improvement strategies as futile. They're just futile, friends. So as you might imagine, efforts like working out, going to the gym, or adopting some game, getting some riz, having pickup lines, or watching pickup artistry, and are viewed as ultimately ineffective because they cannot fundamentally alter one's predetermined genetic fate. Crazy, friends. Crazy. Which leads them into the third point, or the third tenet of the black pill: hopelessness, despair, resentment, friends. Now imagine if you didn't limit yourself to blue pill, red pill, purple pill, modern dating concepts and fornication and adultery and heathenism, how you might actually find joy and contentment in life. The reality is the black pill viewpoint generally leads to a sense of hopelessness and despair, believing that one's romantic prospects are essentially predetermined and unchangeable, friends. This is crazy. This bleak outlook can be a source of significant frustration and resentment, and can even lead into some really dark places and even dark actions. Not saying this is across the board, but the potential is there. Ultimately, even in the black pill space, they have given up on love and marriage. This is blowing my mind. This is blowing my mind. Red pill, giving up on love and marriage. Blue pill, maybe trying to maintain it, but open to open relationships, open to fornication. Purple pill, trying to find a balance, still in a secular world, in the secular mind, still fornication, sex outside of marriage is still there. Open marriages still may even be a thing in open relationships. And the black pill have just given up on love, period. They all land and end up in the same pool, in the same bucket, in the same headspace. Though they seem to be coming from diametrically opposed positions and on the map and on the sphere, like I'm way over here and you're way over there. We're on the opposite sides of the tracks, but yet somehow we come together against the law of God. We meet in this place of rebellion and misery together. Why you say, Brother Gordon, why are you saying that? Because the owner's manual is very clear. Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 through 27. And God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. Beloved, when we don't have the identity that we are made in the image and likeness of God, we could reduce our existence down to if we're able to find a mate or not. We reduce our existence down to if we've been able to procreate or not, if we've been able to have sex, if someone says, I love you or not. Friends, when you have knowledge that you have a Father in heaven that loves you and that you're made in his image and his likeness, oh, how encouraging does the prospect of your life look now? When you believe and know there's a hope of a resurrection in a world made new, perfect, where there's no more crying, no more suffering, no more pain, where we will all be together, brothers and sisters, where we're going to a world where there's no marriage anyway, where we will be like angels not given in marriage. That's where we're going. Maybe if individuals had that truth in their minds, their outlook on their romantic life wouldn't be so dire to them. They wouldn't be living in despair if they knew the truth. The owner's manual says the truth shall set you free. So friend, if you're out there and let's say you're an incel, you're someone who's still a virgin, praise the Lord for that. If you're someone who feels discouraged, I can't find anybody, it's okay, my friend. There's going to be a new heaven and a new earth where we won't be married anyway. You are made in the image and likeness of God. That is where your value stems from. You were bought with a price, an infinite price. That is where your value stems from. Not in your job, not in the house, not in the car, not in your clothing, not in your looks, but in God, friends. This is what all relationship frameworks are missing. Hope, friends. Hope when you don't find a spouse. Do you still have hope then? Because see, all of them are dependent upon you actually finding a spouse. And I don't want to downplay this. In Genesis 2, verse 18, God says, and the Lord God Yahweh said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. So ideally, in perfection, God saw it was not good that man should be alone. But when you get into the owner's manual, you have other outlets. You could be called to a life of celibacy. You could be called to serving other people and find fulfillment and contentment in that. But when you're only left with these other ideologies that just promote on you, you've got to be a better you. You've got to make more money. You've got to have more women. You've got to have more sex. You will be empty. You will be hollow. You will fall into despair. You will fall into darkness and utter hopelessness, guaranteed. The fact that black pill even exists amongst people on planet Earth who are trying to find love and have given up all hope just shows the importance and need of the truth of the owner's manual. In Genesis chapter 2, verses 23 and 24, we find these words. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she has taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. This is the importance of having the owner's manual. All these worldly ideas about relationships will tell you to a greater degree that it's okay for you to get divorced. It's okay for you to have an open relationship. It's okay to cheat. It's okay to step out. Just be honest. There is some, all right, you shouldn't commit adultery. If you're just honest about it, then the adultery is okay. It's okay to fornicate. God came that we might have life and have it more abundantly. He gave us his laws and his commandments that we might guard, that our hearts might be guarded, and that we might actually be able to experience love. And friends, there is no love in cheating. There is no love in open relationships. And if we would accept that, I'm telling you, friends, we would have a totally different experience. Matter of fact, we would experience maybe love for the first time in many of our relationships and in many of our lives. You can't improve on God. There is a way that seems right to us, friends. In our hearts, it seems right. In our own wisdom, it seems correct. But the end is death. The end is despair. The end is black pill. They're all connected, friend. There is a war going on against love, beloved, was what I'm saying to you. On these relationship podcasts, there is war, active war happening and going on against love, against monogamy, against God. Love does exist, friends. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. Come on. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. Come on. No record of wrong or of our wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, friends, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Come on. Love never fails. God is love, the owner's manual tells us. Friends, if I have all the possessions, all the health, all the wealth, and all the sexual partners this world could offer me, but I have not love, I have not anything, and I am nothing. Have you found love, friends? Have you allowed love to find you? I'm Gordon McGee, and this is the No Pillz podcast. Love, fully scripted. And I'm signing off, and I will catch you next week.